Rob Scott is at the property tonight. Rob, this is a tragedy our state has never seen.
It is, Rick. This is WA's worst mass shooting. 7 dead, 4 of them children, all believed to be aged under 13. 2 police officers were first on the scene before dawn this morning. Tonight, that number has greatly multiplied. This is a brutal crime, one that has deeply impacted the officers tasked with investigating it, and one that has sent ripples of devastation through this community. On a quiet rural road, one of Australia's worst mass murders.
Police are currently responding to what I can only describe as an horrific incident.
A man police say is connected to the property called 000 before dawn. When officers arrived, they were confronted with an unimaginable tragedy. 7 people dead, 4 of them children.
The bodies of 2 adults were located outside. 5 bodies were located inside a building on the rural property.
Peter and Cinda Miles live at the property, along with their daughter Katrina Miles and her 4 children. It's believed all of them are dead. 2 guns were found at the scene. Police are not searching for any suspects, all but confirming this was a murder-suicide. Osmington is a quiet spot 10 minutes east of Margaret River. Neighbours are in shock.
Well, it was just shattering because Osmington is a wonderful little quiet space in Margaret River, and this is the last thing we would have ever imagined would happen in this area.
I love them dearly. They were very good neighbours of mine, and it really is one of those shocking events that you can't believe is true. It makes me sick to the stomach.
The crime scene is significant. The 12-hectare property had been run as a hobby farm. 2 separate homes, sheds and dams. Even veteran police have been left shaken.
This is a horrific tragedy for any person involved, and clearly officers and other first responders attending these sorts of scenes is very tragic.
The Premier was told in the middle of a media conference. He cut it short to express his condolences.
It sounds absolutely appalling, awful and terrible, and we'll get further details as time goes on, but clearly this is a distressing day for Western Australia.
Homicide detectives and officers from the Forensic Crime Scene Unit have travelled from Perth. They're expected to stay for some time.
I expect that police and other specialists will be at that property for several days at least.
Neighbours have told how they heard gunshots around 4 o'clock this morning but thought nothing of it because farmers in this area regularly hunt kangaroos and foxes. Police tell us they'll be here across the weekend and into next week as they process the crime scene and attempt to unravel exactly what went on here. Rick?
Rob, thank you. The impact of this terrible event is being felt across the state and the nation, but perhaps no more so than in the nearby town of Margaret River. Jordan Karts, what's being done to help shattered locals?
Rick, Margaret River is tonight very much a town in mourning, left shattered by these horrific deaths. Now, knowing its community is hurting, the local council has organised a free support service with trained counsellors. It'll run from 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, Sunday and Monday from the Margaret River Community Centre. It's open to anyone. It'll also serve as a place where the Margaret River town can come and grieve together. While most people were still asleep, the unimaginable was unfolding. Neighbours had heard gunshots but thought they were from ruse shooters. Then the gravity of the situation filtered out.
We all know each other one way or another, and we're all linked as a community, a very active community, and it's just going to have a ripple effect right through our community.
Over the next 3 days, counsellors will be on hand at the Margaret River Community Resource Centre between 1 and 3 p.m.
It's also a place where the community can get together and grieve together.
We well understand that these tragedies have a lasting impact. We'll do as much as we can from a police investigation point of view.
It's not the first time this community has been faced with tragedy. 9 people, including 4 children, were killed 22 years ago in a cliff collapse during a surf carnival in nearby Gracetown. In 2011, 39 homes were destroyed and dozens more damaged when fires ripped through the area. In the last 14 years, there have been 3 fatal shark attacks. Just last month, there were 2 very close calls. And in January, a 75-year-old man was allegedly murdered in a fight at a Margaret River home. And while that doesn't make what happened today any easier, it does show the resounding strength of this community, which has once again been forced to rally around each other following the deaths of 7 of its own.
You see community members really coming together in a way to support each other, and it's very beautiful, and it's so sad that it's prompted by this terrible tragedy.
As police continue their investigation, minds are now turning as to what could bring someone to carry out this horrific crime. It's a question that may never be answered. In the meantime, local leaders are imploring people who are struggling with this tragedy not to suffer in silence and to take full advantage of the free support services that are being offered from the local community centre from 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.